Hey everyone, today's video is about the Falcon MD20 metal detector. It's a really cool metal detector. Here's the probe, the coil, and let's get into it. So the reason why I have my Falcon out today, and I love this little machine, is I had to change the batteries in it. And to change the batteries, hopefully I can do this here on camera without harming myself, you simply take these screws out. And I've never been able to get this case off any other way other than basically inserting a blade of a knife. It's probably on to do that, but I didn't. I made it successfully. And popping the cover off of the case has two 9-volt batteries in there. And, you know, it's pretty easy to change the battery. It's not a big deal. I'll put the case back on. This thing is really on there. I'll put the screws back in later, but that's how you change the batteries in it. If anyone else knows an easier way to get this case off, tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. I've never figured it out. It's the only way I've ever been able to do it. But let's kind of talk about it for a quick second. This is a unit, and it's made in Arizona. I don't know the manufacturer. They didn't give me this to make this video. It's not endorsed. It'd be cool if they did, because then I'd have a free one. I wouldn't have paid $275 for it a few years ago. But it's not the case. And what I've heard about the manufacturer, I don't know them, is that they're really good folks to work with, and they stand behind their product. So that's pretty cool. One thing that's important to understand with the Falcon is the megahertz it operates at. It operates at 300 megahertz, and the more sensitivity is determined with a VLF machine like this by megahertz. Let me back that statement up. The higher the megahertz on a VLF machine, the more sensitive it is to gold. You understand? You get it? Got it? Good. Wow. You get it? Got it? Good. So this operates at 300 megahertz, which makes it extremely sensitive to gold. The Fisher Goldbug 2, I believe, operates at 71 megahertz, and the Gold Monster, I believe, at 45, and the GMT, I think, around 28 or 32, or something in there. But I'm pretty positive I'm right in the Monster and the Goldbug. So, anyway, this is like light years ahead of the Bug as far as how sensitive it is. Usability-wise is a different story, but sensitivity, it's way more sensitive. The Goldbug will find incredibly small pieces of gold, what we call fly poop. So small you kind of have to squint to find them, smaller than what I'll show you today. Or as small as what I'll show you today. But this thing, these little pieces here, I'll show you in a little bit. This thing can find little pieces that are half or a quarter of that size. These are just pieces I grabbed to demonstrate with. So megahertz is important. And when we really take a look at this machine, it's very simple. It basically, well, it does have has a headphone jack, and it has two adjustments, sensitivity and ground balance. Then the coil or the probe also has an adjustment on it right here, this copper ring. This can slide up and down. I'm not going to move it. I like it where it's at. And this will actually, you can pull this out and you can run it through a piece of PVC, or you can buy a handle from the manufacturer. I think the manufacturer sells them. But it's easy enough to attach to a piece of PVC and use it as a stand-up metal detector. And the reason why I'm saying stand-up metal detector is one of my best friends and hunting partners, Dennis, and I were using these a few years ago, picking up little pieces of gold in an area, looking for a pocket. We've been on our hands and knees or sitting down most of the day finding little bitty pieces. And at one point he looks at me and he's like, "Bro, I have to get up and use a stand-up metal detector." And I'm like, wow. That's so true. Stand-up metal detector, sit-down metal detector. That's awesome. So I consider this more hands and knees sit-down metal detector. You can use it standing up. But with a coil-sized probe, you're not going to cover a lot of ground with that. It's not going to happen. So anyway, you know, this is what it is. It's a great tool. I have a case for it too that you can actually belt mount. Here's my case. It's probably a little dirty. Probably need to clean that sucker out. But I've used this thing quite a bit. And let's talk about when to use it. When can you use this? What's the best way? Well, I'll let the manufacturer tell you that. But here's why we like to use it. When you are in a remote area and you want to determine if it's worth dry washing or hiking in a 151 or a 140, especially several miles in. There's a lot of ways to do that. You could use like a gold bug and you can detect little pieces and say, wow, this is really worth it. You can take samples, you know, you can blow cracks out. This I like because I can throw it in my backpack and I can carry it with me. And I can quickly get down and just run over cracks, and I can just tell how many little fine grains are in there. It's very, very easy to do, stuff the gold bug won't even find. So that's why, one of the reasons I like it. The other reason is chasing pocket gold. And this has helped my wife and I find a multi-ounce pocket of gold. There's a spot, and I'm not going to get into it, but we found some really good gold with our, you know, best friends and hunting partners, Laws and Dennis there. And, you know, we used a variety of machines between all of us. We found some really, really nice pieces. So these actually helped us, you know, figure out where to go to find a pocket. And these things will find such small pieces of gold. It's simply amazing. And we won't be too long in this video today. I'm going to use mine pretty soon. I've got an area I want to use this in. And so I changed the batteries up, but I'll give you a quick demo of it, and I'll probably adjust the light to do it. I'm in my wife's studio, art studio. She's an amazing artist, and I am going to try to not break her light, because if I do, I'll be in trouble. I'm going to move the light over here so you can watch the demonstration. I'll also show you, the manufacturer gives you a little piece of pyrite and a little piece of black sand. Is that what it is? Pyrite, gold, and black sand. They actually give you all three on this card so you can see what it sounds like, because it will discriminate against between all of them, against them, but between them. So I'm going to go ahead and move the light. We'll turn this thing on. We'll see how it works and the sounds it makes. Again, it's a really cool machine. My main uses for it, finding spots I surely want to hike a dry washer into a long way, or chasing pocket gold. So let's check out the demo. Get the light moved over here. There we go. And this is really easy to turn on. It's your typical BLF. You can see my switch is out of adjustment, but that's okay. So that's really all I'm doing, is I'm just simply adjusting the sensitivity. And the ground balance. And when I have it where I want it, and it's kind of cold in here, so hopefully that, you know, I can keep the you know, the cable out of the way. You can probably still hear the machine. Really not reacting to the pyrite. The black sand going away, it makes a noise. The gold going towards it. And it's not going to detect it from an incredible distance. As you can see, these are small pieces. Very, very small pieces. So I'm going to turn that off, put my wife's light back here. Hopefully I don't break it. I'll be in big, big trouble. No, my wife's cool. I wouldn't be in that much trouble. I'd just buy her a new one. But I don't want to break anything of hers. I've actually broken a couple glasses that we had, and she had them before we got together, and there's really cool blue cobalt glasses. And I had to go on eBay and find them. I had to pay like $50 a piece for 2 glasses. I didn't have to. She was totally cool with the fact that I broke them. She's not a material person, but I felt bad. And these glasses probably cost $10 new, but I could, you know, they were older. I had to pay $50 a glass just to make myself feel better. Kind of silly, but anyway, that's the Falcon. So again, while we have it out, we're changing the batteries today. I'm going to be using this very, very soon. It's a very unique metal detector. It's not something you're going to go out and like cover a lot of ground with, but it has some really good uses. And again, my uses are for determining if I want to take a dry washer in for a lot of fine gold. Just one way. Again, this is 2 pounds maybe. I can just throw it in my backpack and I'm off to the races. Or for chasing pocket gold. It's helped us find pockets before. So this is a really, really specialized tool in my opinion. It's a great detector to have. And if you're just getting started and you don't only have a few $100 to spend, this is the great one you can just get used to seeing gold and cracks with. I recommend these. I think they're terrific. So that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big like, subscribe, thumbs up, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you later.